Planet Dolan.
From torn work clothes to being covered in pig poo, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the most embarrassing things that happened to us while at work. I'm Pringle the One, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by XxWolfCrusherxX. So McCallum decided to hack the security system where he worked as an IT expert. However, he didn't know that he was hacking the webcams that looked into his boss's office. While hacking, McCallum forgot to put in a single line of code, which made his boss able to see him. His boss saw McCallum's friend, Gergak, standing naked in the bathroom. Gergak asked, "Hack, you got that camera hacked yet?" His boss took away his coding equipment, but thanked him for finding a way to look over the workplace without anyone knowing. He even said, "McCallum and his naked friend brought a new security system to our workplace." McCallum was teased about it for a year. Number 9 was submitted by HellaBella27. One time, when Spences worked as an office clerk, her boss asked her to copy some papers. He gave her the files and she stored them in her desk, in the second drawer where her 4-year-old son's drawings were. Being the same color as the papers from her boss, Spences didn't notice and accidentally copied her son's drawings instead. She gave them to her boss, and the next day during a meeting, he looked at the papers and gave Spences an angry look. So her boss, not wanting to embarrass her, described the drawings to everyone as they laughed. Afterwards, he politely told her to copy the papers and not draw them. Number 8 was submitted by oPolarus. When he worked at a garden center, Dolan had to lift a bag of bio-blend compost, which was soil made of recycled greens and pig poop, which Dolan and his coworker lifted the bag over their heads to put it on a shelf. It ripped open on Dolan's end, spilling all over him. He had to be sprayed with a jet hose and couldn't get the smell of pig poo off him for a week. Number 7 was submitted by CatsaNinjaCat. One time, when Pandora was working the night shift as a casino janitor, her mother stopped in and spent an hour looking for her. She was walking around the casino saying, "Do you know where my daughter is? She's part of the cleaning crew. It's her first night being in charge. I wanted to see how she's doing and wish her luck." Pandora's mother said to everyone, from cocktail waitresses to security, and even a few executives. She eventually found Pandora, who was training a new employee. After getting Pandora's attention, her mother began to say things like, "Have you been eating well? Are you showering properly? How's your cat? I miss her." From over her mother's shoulder, Pandora saw the casino owners along with the director of the janitorial department heading toward them. The director politely told Pandora's mother that she couldn't visit at her work and interrupt her, to which her mother replied, "She's my only daughter, the last baby bird to leave the nest." The director replied, "Well, you're putting your baby bird at risk of being fired. Please do not disturb her, or I will have security escort you off the property." Her mother promptly shut up and left. Number 6 was submitted by MarvelMan10. One day, Legna was late to work. He was really dazed from watching The Walking Dead all night. As he walked down the hall, he opened a door that he thought was his office. It turned out to be a boardroom where executives and representatives were holding a meeting. Legna's boss said, "This is the employee of the year I was telling you about." Everyone in the room began muttering phrases such as, "He's a fine young man," and "He looks like a hard worker." Confused and overwhelmed, Legna's body self-destructed. He peed his pants, puked on an executive, and almost pooped his pants. Despite being fired for the incident, Legna and his former boss are still cool and even joke about it to this day. Number 5 was submitted by 3 of Kings. Zargamba once went to a company Christmas party that was being held at a fancy country club, where the CEO was a member. Everything was free, including the drinks. So Zargamba ended up having 5 Fireball shots, 2 Long Island iced teas, and a mojito. Needless to say, he was fairly drunk. His coworkers dragged him onto the dance floor where he tore it up. Trying to be impressive, he tried ending his dance with a cartwheel to his seat. Misjudging the distance, his legs came down on the edge of the table, sending plates, food, and candles flying everywhere. The plate smashed against the wall, the food splattered a couple of his coworkers and a member of the band that was playing, and the candles rolled on the floor and began a small fire. Zargamba grabbed the first liquid that he saw and threw it at the fire to put it out, but instead of water, he had accidentally grabbed vodka. The CEO grabbed a jug of water and put it out. Zargamba sheepishly helped put the table back up and stayed away from the dance floor as well as the booze for the rest of the night. Everyone, including the CEO, just laughed it off. They still talk about it to this day. Number 4 was submitted by GRACIElovesANIMALS. Doobie decided to wear her new black leggings to work one day. It was a day where she had to go to a very important meeting. In the middle of the meeting, she stood up and heard a rip. She looked at her chair and saw that whole backside of her pants had ripped. The entire section of the leggings that covered her butt were gone. Luckily, she had a long jacket, but she had to walk down a long hallway and into a room where another meeting was being held. She believes that was her worst day ever. Number 3 was submitted by KitKat2703. During his first shift at a general store, Sid was taken to the back room by his supervisor to get to know where things were. Next, he began to train Sid on the register. All of a sudden, Sid threw up in his hands and had to run to the back of the store, with bits of chunk dropping as he ran. For months, he was known as the newbie who threw up. He also knows why he threw up that day. The register he was training at was on a corner that would get very stuffy, especially on hot Australian days. Number 2 was submitted by Wing679. When he was 16, Hellbent worked at a McDonald's. While working with the fries, one of his coworkers came up from behind and pulled his pants down. He then threw them in the fryer. Hellbent was very embarrassed and went home without his pants that day. The next day, he texted his coworker saying that they were no longer friends. He also ended up quitting. Number 1 was submitted by me, your narrator, Pringle the One. The most embarrassing thing that happened to me while I was at work was when I had conversations with a friend via email. This was in 2010 when people actually used those. And I ended up printing out the whole conversation. This conversation went up to 50 pages. My boss ended up talking to me in the other office and he was like, "Pringle, you better not do this crap no more. I swear if I see you do this, we're gonna write you up." After that, I never did it again and I got freaked out. What's crazy is this almost happened again to me by mistake, but this time around, I made sure to press the cancel print button. Huge thanks for the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you! What's the scariest thing that ever happened when you were home alone? Let us know on the Reddit page link below, and you might be featured in a future countdown.
Check out the latest Dolan card update, Nixiumville. A new character, heaps of new skins, a new power-up, new level, daily missions, and offline mode. Download from the Android or iOS App Store and start racing today for free.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care, everybody. Peace.